and I restructured and rebuilt it. And so, I mean, my heart is in Hermiston. It's about the downtown. It's about everybody here. And in the last, especially the last couple of years, I've seen the downtown really having struggles. The homeless, especially, is one of the issues. I just parked and had to walk over a guy passed out on the sidewalk. I don't know how many $1 million we spent putting in the Festival Street in this beautiful new city hall. I drove by McKenzie Park. This time of night, it's a magnet. In the mornings when you go to the post office, I do at 9 o'clock every morning. They're leaving the park and then they're sleeping on every sidewalk along Bimart on my properties. A week ago, my manager was meeting with an out-of-town company who was going to rent our Maxwell Pavilion. The larger building has all the glass all the way around it. And when Teresa was in there meeting with the customer, she noticed a lady walking through the parking lot. It's well posted, no trespassing.
I'm going to need you to wrap it up.
She stopped and pooped right in front of them in the middle of the day. My question is, what are we going to do about it? The city. This is a problem. My building has been spray painted. I had somebody 2 weeks ago with a golf club. We caught them before they did much damage, but we're going to break windows out of the building. The police fortunately did catch him in the park when he ran off. I put in $60,000 worth of air conditioning systems. In the middle of the night, they stole all of the connectors out of the buildings. It's nonstop. It's every single day. The downtown district, it's an epicenter from McKenzie Park. Probably 1,000 square foot area from around there.
Okay, I'm going to have to cut you off, sir. Your time has expired.
Well, that's unfortunate because I certainly have much more to say.
I understand that, sir.
So to have more time with the council, can I get anybody else that's here to donate their 5 minutes to me? Would you? So you wouldn't speak if I can have your 5 minutes? Yeah. And Chad, your 5 minutes? Will that work?
Okay.
So that's one issue. Second issue is the food vendors and vendors of other products around Hermiston. And I've been visiting with Mark about it. And when the city laxed the requirements of the food vendors after you put in the food vendors park, it's just exploded everywhere. You can't drive through town without finding somebody selling flowers on the sidewalk, setting up selling toys on the sidewalk, selling oranges on the sidewalk. Those are city sidewalks. It's against the law to vend on a sidewalk. I got a citation at Nookie's when I ran that business because I had a chalkboard on the sidewalk listing our daily lunch special. And nobody seems to do anything. You have a nuisance, or excuse me, a code enforcement officer, you did, until I think he started posting that he was glad that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. And hopefully the city council has done something about that. I sent Mark images of his texts on Facebook celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. But I went to Umatilla County and visited with them after I visited with Mark. And Mark suggested I talk to Umatilla County. So I talked to the health department. She told me she was too busy to deal with it. And then they were going to do targeted patrols on a Saturday. I don't know if they did or not, but they were going to do targeted patrols because what happens is after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when your code enforcement officer left and after the girl from the county is no longer on duty, then they set up and they operate until 10, 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning over on 11th Street where the old Circle K is. They set up their Brazilian meat carving stations, no hand washing, no sanitation, no refrigeration. They pull up in an old U-Haul truck, roll the door up, pull out meat that's not even been refrigerated, set it on the table and start cooking it and slicing it and selling it. And hundreds of people are showing up every Friday, Saturday night. Talk to the county about it. Well, we don't work after 4 and we don't work on weekends. Last Saturday, if they don't work on weekends, don't work after 4, last Saturday, did anybody attend the American Legion potluck over in McKenzie Park? Did anybody even know about it? Well, they advertised it. Small potluck. Bring your potato salads or your baked beans. We're going to cook hamburgers and hot dogs. These are veterans. These are several of the people are in wheelchairs, just old veterans with their wives, wanted to have a gathering, 20, 25 people at most. The Umatilla County health inspector notified them, she's seen it online, that they were going to have a gathering. She told them they had to get a permit as a restaurant. They had to have food handlers. They couldn't bring potluck, couldn't bring beans or a potato salad or anything. If they were going to cook hamburgers and hot dogs, they had to have food handlers licenses. It was on Saturday morning, last Saturday morning at McKenzie Park. She showed up. They did get their license. They had to go spend a substantial amount of money to get sinks and washing facilities because the cities had to shut them all off over there by your little barbecue area because of the homeless. And then she showed up 11 o'clock and spent almost 3 hours there supervising 20 old veterans cooking hamburgers and hot dogs. This is the same person that told me that she could not work on weekends. Is it selective? I mean, it's okay to work on a weekend and go pick on a bunch of poor old veterans and their wives that are 70 years old, want to eat potato salad and baked beans. But it's not okay to go over and get somebody who's selling the food, serving a couple hundred people with no refrigeration, no anything. I mean, I want to know what the city's going to do about it. I have a solution. And Mark's and I've talked about it. What are you going to do? The reason that it happens, like over there at the old Circle K, is because those vendors, and usually on a Friday, Saturday night, there's not just the one, there's 3 of them that set up there. All you got to do is go over there any Friday, Saturday night, they're there. But what they're doing is they walk in and they take the person who's running the 7-Eleven or the old Circle K, and they give them $200 or $300 bills and say, we're going to set up out there. If you can't stop them by code enforcement, then maybe the way to stop them is this city council needs to pass an ordinance or a law that holds the business responsible, the property owner. Because if the property owner is allowing it, Chad Weems, right back here, was shut down. He had one business on his property and he wanted to open a coffee shop, just a little drive-up coffee. And the county wouldn't let him do it. They said, you can't have 2 businesses on the same piece of property. Well, how come they can have 3 on the same piece of property? What's the city going to do about it? That's why I'm here. The county is shrugging their shoulders and tells me, no, we really can't do anything. Well, who can? Somebody's got to do something about it. Homeless, illegal food vendors. I mean, I know every single one of you that live in Hermiston and drive around, you drive by them all the time. Go down by Dutch Brothers any day. Flowers up and down the sidewalk. Do you know how many flower shops in town are probably struggling to pay their bills in brick and mortar buildings? Why should they have to compete against an illegal flower vendor selling their flowers on the city sidewalks? I feel like I'm in third world country. I think everybody just got blinders. You drive by it and you've got so accustomed to it. But as a business owner and a property owner, I'm imploring you, please do something about it. This is getting out of hand between the crime, the illegal vending. I mean, where it ends. I mean, why did I quit developing and building anything in Hermiston about 2 years ago or 3 years ago? And I've invested millions of dollars in the downtown. Why did I quit? That's why I quit. Because I didn't feel like as a business owner, my investment was being treated the same as other people. So that's all I got to say. And I hope the city will do something. Yeah, Jackie.
Say your address was,
My address, which one?
your mailing.
P.O. Box 1230 Hermiston, and I have property at 106 East Main. I have property at 145 South Main, 228 North First Place, 1997 North First Place. I probably have 10 different properties in the city. I live at 29682 Country Lane. I live in the county. But just because I live in the county doesn't mean that I don't have millions of dollars at stake and invested and that I pay taxes on in the city of Hermiston, Oregon. Okay? So, I mean, Mr. Mayor, can you tell me, is the solution, you know, I would say a task force, but if you want to screw something up, put a committee in charge of it, you know?
What I can tell you, Mr. Meyer, is that everything that you have brought up is being discussed amongst the administration, myself, and in certain parts of it, the council. So it is not your issues are not falling upon deaf ears.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and certainly it's not racist. I don't care what color, what anything anybody is about it. I just care about Hermiston and the businesses, and, you know, I care about the homeless people that are out here. The county spent, how much money has the county spent on the homeless deal out off of Baggett Lane out there? What's the course of action with all of that? I think the city invested in that, didn't they? Didn't the city invest
Yes,
in that?
yes, we have.
So why isn't something being done about all of this?
Again,
All you
it's
gotta do is
being
walk
worked
here, Go
on.
right, leave here and go to McKenzie Park. Right now. Leave here and walk out and look on your sidewalks right out here right now. They're everywhere. And I think they're being bussed in from Portland. That's what I've been told. They're being bussed in from out of town. So I don't, you know, I'm not the one to have the solutions. It's not within my power. I can just tell you, as a person who owns a substantial amount of downtown, between the theft and the filth and everything else that goes along with it,
Okay.
I'm up to here.
All right, Mr. Meyer, your time is up now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hello?
Hey guys, so my name is Julian McNally. I've lived here since I was 8 years old. I'm from
Yes.
San Diego.
Your address here in town?
Say it again?
Your address, please?
Yeah, 1850 Vincent Lane.
Thank you.
So I was on Facebook, 2 weeks ago or so, and I saw on a couple different classified pages, somebody was upset about the way that Miss Jackie Linton was handling herself on Facebook, on her personal page, but she's an elected official. And so some people were upset about that. And I sympathized with that. And I said, you know what? I don't think this is very becoming of an elected official either. And so I was like, okay, what do I do if I'm a citizen of a city and I don't like the way an elected official is acting? Well, I want to see if I can file some kind of complaint. I don't need her fired. I don't want her reprimanded. I want her talked to. I want her talked to and said, hey, maybe after a sensitive thing for the country, maybe you just watch your mouth a little bit on social media, in my opinion. So, So I call the city council administrative, whatever it is called, I forget the name. And she's very kind and she says, well, you have two options. You can speak to the mayor or you can come to this meeting. And I said, I'll do both. So I had a lovely conversation with Mayor Primer, and then I decided that I would indeed show up to this meeting and voice my opinion. So I decided to let Miss Jackie Linton know that I was going to do that. So I go to her Facebook and I found the three posts that I thought were particularly egregious. It's just disrespectful, kind of rude stuff that you would say, just, in my opinion, I thought it was gross. And so I comment, actually, let's pull it up. So, because I didn't know, I'm not trying to be rude. I wasn't trying to threaten anybody. And so I put, quote, I'll see you at the city council meeting September 22nd at 7 p.m. heart emoji. Should be fun to hear you defend this to your community. Because I genuinely wanted to hear her defend this to her community. I don't know if she gets to speak or whatever, but she responds ROFL with like 4 exclamation points, which is professional. And so I go, you're an elected official posting things like this. I'm so excited. That was my response. I fear for my life with you showing up. I will contact the police and let them know. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but I'm a pretty smart kid. And I think that if you try to employ the Hermiston Police Department to keep a citizen from showing up to a city council meeting, seems wrong, in my opinion. So that's silly. So then I go, oh no, I'm going to show up to a public meeting and speak, call them. So she enlightened me that she was going to call the police. So I said one step ahead and I called the cops, called the non-emergency line. And I said, hey, here's what's going on. I laid out everything I just told you guys. And they go, okay, well, I appreciate you leaving the report. Where's this going to take place? I said, City Hall, September 22nd. She said, okay, perfect, no problem. Do you want to have an officer call you? I said, absolutely. So an officer calls me and I explained to him the exact same thing. And he on the phone, we talked for 10 minutes, me and this officer on the phone. And he goes, yeah, you have full rights to show up to a city council meeting and voice your mind. He didn't say anything, particular about you. What he said was, yeah, man, there's plenty of cops there if you have any problem. And then I said, do you mind if I text you if I have an issue? And he said, absolutely not. So I've got him on my phone. I saved his number and everything. And so I just thought the community should know that. I thought that the community should know that one of your guys' elected officials decided to try to use the police department in some capacity to keep me from coming here. I got out of work late, went home, changed, and showed up just to show my face here right in front of you because you didn't think I would. And so here I am. A wise man said that, the world belongs to those who show up. And I think that that's a really pertinent quote. And so then I hear later from a very high up member of our city government that they're proud of a particular young man, me, for voicing his mind and saying that he's going to show up at this meeting and talk. And so here I am. And that's all I wanted to do. And I think that I said all I needed to say. And I hope you don't fear for your life, Miss Jackie, because, huh?
Don't fear for yours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good response. So, I mean, you've had an attitude since high school, and I'll leave it there.
Any other comments, public comments? You step forward.
Good evening, Mayor. I am Sarah Stone at 1039 Northeast Emerald Drive, Hermiston, Oregon. I am a veteran of the United States military. Just wanted to mention that as well. So I've been a lot of places. My husband is currently active duty here. So I've only been here for a short period of time. But I am here just to not just defend, but also to show my support. I believe in Jesus. I don't know if everyone else does, but I believe Jesus really wanted me to come here and to just lay it out. So I just, I know Hermiston, the homelessness may be an issue to very many people, right? But at the same time, there are so many resources here, a lot more than I've ever seen in a lot of areas that I have been. It's just a lot of these places just need a spearhead because there's a lot of veterans that are part of the homelessness here, and also obviously, you know, addiction is real. You know, a lot of mental health illnesses are real. Um, but there are many, many different outlets and outcomes that can be provided for these people. I know they have like in-house care for people recovering from addiction. I've seen it. Um, there's also a many like psychologists, psychiatrists that are willing to help, you know, the community out and help just all around the world. Because yes, a lot of people are so hard on these people, but they're struggling. Some were born into it, you know, and that's the only way they know to live. But I just want to commend the city on all the different resources, and I will name just a few. Sorry, I'm a little nervous, Mayor.
It's all right.
Um,
Just breathe.
Thank you. Like the Stepping Stones Alliance, Martha's House, Eastern Oregon Mission. I think that's Capeco, Umatilla Housing Authority, Hermiston, Oregon Human Development Corporation. So there's a lot of different places here that do support, and I see it. You know, just we got to have someone to spearhead to get them, you know, to the right place that they need, the right type of care. Like I said, I was in the United States military. I was a corpsman, so I was in the medical field, and I'm going for my psychology degree. And sometimes it's hard to get out of those specific addictions. And, you know, but we can make a difference and help save people's lives because that's what, you know, as a human being, you know, and as a follower of Jesus Christ, that's all that matters is saving people's lives. To, you know, not just here on this earth, but to make it up to heaven. So I'm just gonna say one last thing, real quick. My apologies. So if anyone, this is from Jesus talking himself, and this is from Matthew 16:25 or 24 through 25. If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. So I feel like that's a very just powerful statement that Jesus said, because it's not just us taking up our cross, you know, to help ourselves and help our community, but it's helping those that need it the most. So that's all I got to say. And I just really appreciate you guys' time and you guys hearing me out. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Stone.
all.
And if you get a chance, stop by and see Lily there. She'll get you my number and give me a call and we can talk. Okay?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you.
You bet. And that pretty much runs us out of time for public comment. So with that, we have 5 minutes? Okay, one more person is available. He used your time. Any others? All right. We are moving on. Okay, we're at consent agenda items, public note, or consent agenda items A through E. Are there any council questions on consent agenda items A through E? Sir,
I'd like to request to pull item D out.
okay, when we get to that part, we'll do it then. Any other council questions? Okay, public comment. Any public comment on consent agenda items A through E? Seeing none. Council comments on any of those? Still, what would you want? What's next?
Oh, that's next, okay. I thought.
Okay, does the council wish to remove any items?
I see you're doing it newer. Yes, I would love to remove D.
Okay, removing item D
I'd like to remove item A.
and remove item A. Any others? Okay, so item A and D are removed from the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve items B, C, and E?
So move.
Second.
Been moved by Counselor Myers, second by Counselor Duran. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously, 7-0. Okay, consent agenda item A. You wish to have that one pulled?
I just, as an advocate for candidacy, I just would like that read and potentially summarized by our city manager.
So this is starting the next election process. So on September 11th, the window opened for candidates to file for the 4 ward seats on the city council as well as for the municipal judge. And so until March 10th at 5 o'clock, those are open to be filed. You can get more information at the administration office, and our city recorder can help answer questions.
Okay, so it's open until March. Okay. And item D.
May I add?
Oh, yes.
If people are interested in figuring out what ward they live in, because that's really the only qualifier for these
You
elections,
go
how
to
would
the
they do
city
that?
website under elections, there's a link to the ward map, and it shows where they can figure out where they live and what ward they live in.
Thank you.
You sure? Yep. Okay. Okay, item, do we want to vote on that one first, or can we consent agenda those two as by themselves? Or together? Okay, cool. Okay, D, Counselor, I'm making all the noise.
That's definitely me. Sorry, this mic's not really working all that well. Thank you. I just wanted to pull this item out just because Mrs. Ida Sanchez is here in the audience. I wanted to acknowledge her. She's done a lot of good work in the community, and I look forward to having her appointed to the library board.
Okay. Well, once we go through this, we'll see what we say here. All right, so can I get a motion to approve items A and D?
Motion approved.
Second.
Been moved by Counselor Hayward, second by Counselor McCarthy. Sorry, need to write this down. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations, ma'am. Look forward to having you on board, and congratulations to the Charter Review Committee, again, being Dr. Drotzman, Monique Bradley, Karen Jones, who I see in the audience, Paul Wolverton, Kendra Stone, Rod Harden, and Val Hoxie. Look forward to working with them and the creation of or at least the update, or whatever we do with the city charter. Next up, ordinances. Ordinance 2371, creating a local improvement district number 323. This ordinance 2371 was presented during a public hearing on September 8th, and because the public hearing and comment period closed on September 8th, no other evidence or public testimony will be taken on ordinance 2371. However, the council, as part of their deliberations, may ask questions or make comments. So, City Attorney Tubby, will you read the ordinance by title only?
Yes, Mayor. So ordinance number 2371 by title only, an ordinance creating local improvement district number 323, describing improvement, setting boundary, providing for payment by benefited properties, securing such payment by lien against the benefited properties, and calling for construction. Mr. Mayor.
Is there any further council questions or comments for ordinance 2371? Seeing none. Can I get a motion that ordinance 2371 be adopted and become effective 30 days after adoption by city council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Hayward. And seconded by Counselor Meyer. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-1 with Counselor Litton in opposition.
Does the other council member count?
He's not taking place he's only listening. He chose not to actually participate. Okay, there we go. All right, monthly financial report. City Manager Smith.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, this is the item that we would typically have a PowerPoint presentation, but technology's not working like we would like it to. So Mr. Palacios will just kind of speak from his notes.
Good evening, Mayor and councilors. I kind of lost without my PowerPoint on the screen, but I'll work through it. No, so tonight I'm presenting the monthly financial report for August 31st, which is the second month of the budget cycle of the fiscal year. The urban renewal, we're still waiting for the right-of-way appraisals, or have been completed, and we're anticipating bidding this winter. As I noted, we are in the second month of the fiscal year through the end of August for the 25 fiscal year. Monthly revenues ended under projection by 466,000. This is primarily due to change in building fees and grant revenues, timing of those coming in. So those are on track
Hey, look at there.
oh, it's up. I can't get away with it now. So
Yay, IT team.
But now it's not.
Usually F5 works.
That one.
all right. Okay. General fund monthly expenditures were over projection by 2 million. This is primarily due to the transfer of the restricted funds for the newly created building fund, to provide a little bit more transparency for those and what's going on with those dedicated funds in the building fund now. City council, airport, and non-departmental are over budget. Primarily, it's due to the annual LOC membership, which comes out of the city council department, transfer projects, ongoing at the airport for the hangar, et cetera, and transfer, as I noted before, for the building inspection fund. Parks utility, and pool and recreation are over budget at the end of August, but this is due to seasonal activities, which are coming to an end, spring, summer, mostly summer, that impact this fiscal year. I did want to take a moment to discuss the minimum fund balance that we have. The city has a 15% minimum fund balance requirement per its financial policies for 2025. And it's based on the prior year's ended fiscal year's total expenditures for that year. So 15% of that amount was 2.9 million for this year. We are showing we anticipate that we will drop under the minimum by about $200,000 in June of 2026. And this is due to the effect of that one-time transfer that we have of $2.7 million, because we are on a budget basis. We only show the expenditure. So that cash is sitting on hand and was restricted. So it's not accounted for in this projection. So if you take that and account for it, you zero that out. So that's been added back in to prop that back up. So in addition, we also have $970,000 that are being held in reserves that are part of the general fund. When those are taken into account, as I noted, we only anticipate projected right now dropping below the minimum in June of 2026. We are watching it, and based on historical trends, we don't anticipate that dropping, but I just wanted to note that the projections do indicate that for June. Observations, the new building fund activity is included in the special revenue funds as part of the financial reports. EOTech revenues do not reflect any of the AWS reimbursements for the ongoing campground project yet, as we're still finalizing some of those contracts. EOTech activity for personnel and materials and services reflect seasonal events, fairs, special private events over the summer. Utility and street funds, the only fund that's showing is over projection right now is 125,000, and that's due to anticipated and budgeted transfers for reserve for future planned projects and repairs that are ongoing. So with that, I can turn it over to Mr. Smith.
I'm not Mr. Smith.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, a few updates on capital projects. The Gear and Harper realignment, which is, I was looking at it and there was actually an article in the East Oregonian about the Gear and Harper intersection and how poorly it functions back in 2014. And we were planning on doing some work on it. So it's been a long time coming. It's challenging working with the railroad, making sure that we can get the project paid for with very little out of pocket from the city of Hermiston. So I'm happy to report that we've got all green lights from the railroad now. And so the engineers have been kicked off to start their design in full to actually take it to some biddable plans that we expect to put out end of this year and be into construction in 2026. That also comes along with realignment means construction. Construction means things have to be taken offline, which means that intersection and that railroad crossing will be closed for several months next year during construction, will cause challenges to people that use that intersection frequently. So I think it was the end of last week, I think we did send out a letter really to all the commercial properties really in that entire region, basically everywhere north of Elm, west of Highway 395, just letting them know, we don't have a lot of details yet, but they should prepare that there will be some challenges with traffic in and around that area as we go through that project next year. So stay tuned. We'll have a lot more details as we get closer into that project, but we've been waiting on this project for a while, and so now we get to deal with the ramifications of actually doing the construction. So once it comes out the other side, it'll be much better, though, I'm sure. North First Sidewalk, that continues to have discussions with the railroad, regional water system backup generators, continuing to be in design on that project. Well number 6 chlorination structure continues to move along with design. Let's see, lift station number 5 wet well upgrades should begin on that design soon. Same thing with the Evelyn Avenue gravity sewer line. The Orchard Avenue water line replacement, that design is well underway at this point. Again, that's going to be another one that we'll see construction in 2026. So if you use Orchard Avenue on the west side of town near the somewhere between I think it's West Park Elementary School and 11th Street, be prepared for some obstructions next summer. Our Aquifer Storage and Recovery project, we're done with most of the below ground work, and now we're going to start building a structure over the top of that equipment. Again, hoping to start pouring water into the ground this winter. And well number 4 controls project, now that we're through the bulk of the irrigation season and we can take well number 4 offline, we should be into some construction here in the next few months. Let's see, then Dogwood. So that's the construction of Dogwood near Northwest 2nd Street, which is part of the LID that was approved this evening. So design on that will get kicked off tomorrow, and we'll be into construction here sometime in 2026. The Southeast 10th Street Bridge project was included in the budget, so we'll begin on working with the private company that's putting in the subdivision over by BMCC. We're looking to take that project back over from them, probably won't be into construction during the bulk of 2026, but probably the tail end of 2026 when water's out of the A-line canal. And then lift station number 7 should be starting design on that soon. Last kind of building construction thing for me is the hangar replacement up at the airport. Moving along quickly now that we have the building erected and they're just finishing some things inside. So we should have occupancy of those hangars here in the next few months.
So the library project, all the books are now back in the library and mostly in the right place. There's still a little bit of adjustment that'll come as we kind of refine the layout. We were initially anticipating this weekend to try to do the grand opening, but because of an issue getting the elevator finalized by the state inspector, we're pushing that out into October. October 10th is our tentative date now for the grand opening. But otherwise, they're working on other punch list items, a few electrical things, and a few other items that they're finishing up. The ARC, there's really nothing going on until we complete the Public Safety Center. Sherman Park, we're almost ready to go out to bid with construction documents on that project. And then you got to walk through the Public Safety Center tonight, and so you can see the progress, and we're on target again, as the contractor said, to be ready to move in January, February of next year. So that's still what we're working on. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Council Brown, I saw your hand up there a second ago.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I had a question earlier on one of the slides about the sewer line replacement. Since we're going to start tearing into the asphalt or into the road, is that also gonna, or I think it was the water line replacement, I should say, and on Orchard, is there gonna be sewer that's gonna be replaced, and is the road, I'm imagining, gonna be resurfaced?
Yeah, so at this point, sewer lines, no. Through there, we utilize a lot more alleyways on the sewer. Yeah, so the intention is full width surface restoration on Orchard. I'm hoping, depending on the budget, that we'll be able to get into doing some sidewalks through there too, because there's several sections of missing sidewalk that are very challenging because of some above ground utilities and those types of things. So we're going to see what we can do in there. But yeah, full width surface restoration on Orchard between 7th and 11th.
Did you say an anticipated day that or anticipated month or season that we're starting that project?
I'd say construction season 2026 point. But so we're going to be, should be putting that out to bid in the winter. So yeah, it could be into construction anytime, probably from May 1st through the end of October.
That'd be good especially for school. At least it won't be during school time where probably a lot of people are going to be using that road.
Yep.
Thank you.
Councilor Drawn.
How are the businesses going to be impacted and notified, especially like the food pod and then the other businesses on the other end?
Yeah, so the food pod won't be nearly as impacted on that project. So the Orchard Avenue water line replacement project, it's only from 7th to 11th. So
By West Park?
yeah, so it's just on the west side of West Park there. So yeah, so we hadn't anticipated sending any notifications to any of the businesses further downstream, But.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? I only had the one, can we make sure that we do a lot of notification on that gear project once that gets started? I mean, blanket everybody's, months in advance and stuff. So we want to make sure that, because that is as nasty as an intersection as that is, a lot of people do use that. And so making people as aware of that as possible, I think, is important. So.
We will communicate as much as we can. We can't guarantee that it will always be 2 ways.
Understand.
Is there any way to have it like a prominent message on the website to let people know, like coming up or in
But, I
20?
mean, we'll use every tool that we can.
Perfect.
I was going to say, that's an interesting thought about just putting up a large physical sign
Yeah.
at the intersection, you know, that probably catch more people than just on our website.
I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Yeah,
It is highly used.
especially now pickleball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Last chance for other comments. Okay. Committee reports. Anyone have any committee reports? Counselor Hayward.
Yeah, the Face Advisory Board met last week. Stepping Stones was their report. They're averaging about around 14 people a night and stuff. They said they're trying to get people in there, but they can't make them stay or come. So they're doing their best, but
We didn't
Okay.
have, excuse me, we didn't have the vote to accept the
Oh,
report.
you're right. We're right. I apologize.
For catching that, Mr. Attorney.
Thank you.
Sorry, Counselor. Oh.
Okay.
we'll take that vote.
So since we got all the questions out of the way, I guess we need to get a motion to accept the August 2025 monthly financial report as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by everybody, seconded by Counselor Duran. Lily, take your pick on who. Okay, roll call.
Yes.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Now,
Sorry about interrupting.
no, that's
It's okay.
what you're supposed to do.
I was basically done, so.
Okay. All right, any others?
Yes, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee met last week. Again, we did not have a quorum. We only had 3 members present. But we were given information about the recreation coordinator recruitment. It's going to start September 12th. Interviews were going to take place, correct? So we'll know more about that when that decision is made. But the tree inventory is complete. That was done in August, and they are looking at giving priority to those that need to be either pruned or removed. And Belt Park is where some of the work has started already. And I think some areas that were also some trees that are being considered are at Victory Square and Butte Park. And of course, there will be plans for future planning also, especially at Butte, not Butte, but Funland Park. And someone asked about funding, and funding is non-renewable. So that's why priority needs to be given to those projects to make sure that we can get them complete. And we also heard that pickleball is quite popular. From on July 21st, there were 1,000 visitors recorded, and that's just based on people's cell phones pinging in that area, right? Or correct me, please.
From June 14th through August, we had about 1,000 a week down at the pickleball courts.
And
I was
so,
impressed with 1,000.
yeah. We also discussed what people felt about enclosing Funland Park, because it is well used. There's a lot of small kids that go there. Sometimes the kids kind of tend to venture off in some other ways. And because there's a lot of toys there. So we were discussing ways to, whether that was going to be feasible. So more information will come. But, well, and another reason is because sometimes strollers are taken inside, you know, with the playground area, and a lot of skateboards also, which can damage the flooring. Yeah, the surface. So, but one of our student advisors suggested having a bike rack right outside the parks, so that maybe hopefully those that take their bikes can see that there's a place for them to keep their bikes so that they don't take them inside the playground area. And also, we were given information that the Oregon Marine Board is considering, or conversations had been taking place about a boat ramp since 2022. And more, they're looking to access from Pendleton to Echo to Hermiston. So they're looking at grant funding opportunities and cost estimates because they want more river access for things. So please, Brandon, feel free to jump in at any time. And then we were also given information about the Hermiston Youth Soccer. Right now, they have 438 players registered. That's 46 teams and 156 in the 6U division players. And so they brought the cost down from 75 to 60, which 25 goes for uniform and the rest goes to pay for other expenses. There's 233 kiddos registered for football, 66 registered for volleyball. That was as of last week. Numbers could have changed. So they have enough staff to cover all of these kiddos wanting to participate. And that's what I have. Did I miss something?
Family Magic Night
Oh.
going on. Treats on Main. I can read these. You already did the HY. So yard sale and then Scarywood.
That's our report.
Grades 6 through 12.
Excellent. Glad to hear that.
You'll be there, right?
It's possible. Any other committee reports or city liaison reports? No? Okay, so my turn. All righty. One, yay, Brandon. Scarywood. Leave it at that. So yeah, we had a night tonight. We had the opportunity to go through the Public Safety Center, see what's going on there. There's a lot of good things. They've well thought out, well put together. I think the staff that were available to help us look around were very informative. You got a good group there, Chief. So good to be proud of them. I'm excited to see the final product. You know, it's one of those, you know, I worked in law enforcement for a long time, so I remember the old building, and I've seen it, all the progressions, and this newest incarnation is basically it's a ground up rework, and it looks amazing so far. So I am really excited to see what the final product looks like. Let's see, we had our neighbor city, Pendleton had their roundup here a couple weeks ago, and that went really well. One of the things that I deal with the volunteer part of things, and we had over almost 800 hours of man-hours of volunteer work through various law enforcement agencies assisting with that to make it a safe event. We had our fall, or is it late summer, city chat on Friday at the high school football game. Several of us were there in attendance, and it was well received. We had happy conversations and not as happy conversations with some folks, but overall, people felt comfortable coming up and talking to us, and we really appreciate that. That is our job, is to listen to what people have to say and to work towards work towards the same goal. And I was excited to see all those folks there for that. I also had the opportunity to participate in the Umatilla County to Bounty deal, basically moving forward with what we started here in Hermiston years ago with the watermelon giveaway, and it moved beyond. They moved it beyond that. There was a lot of participation from all areas of Umatilla County. We, of course, gave away basically a truckload of watermelon and potatoes, onions, a lot of interaction with the folks over there. Several county commissioners from different neighboring counties. The mayor of Portland, of course, was there, and his pledge was to include a lot of the different counties in the area to do something similar. So, but it was very well received. We had members of the state government there as well, and including me, 5 different mayors came down to see what was going on. And I believe it was the state treasurer was there as well, but she didn't take any money from us, so that was good. And then we've got the LOC, state LOC coming up this next week after next. So I know several of us are going to that. But if you haven't, make sure you get with Lily to make sure your stuff is all finalized. And, oh yes, and I want to shout out, so to speak, for this one pager that David Daniel Wattenberger put together with all of our information on it. It's really nice little information sheet about city council. So if you want one, get one. There's QR codes, near and dear to my heart, and how to get a hold of us. So please, if you want to know anything about us, get you one of these. If you can't go to the website, because it's the same stuff. With that, Council President.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of the events that I would normally come up and recommend. Everybody's already kind of talked about. Just want to remind, of course, everyone that I know we were all real bit used to driving something closer to 25 or greater through school zones. So now that school's back in session, please make sure you're slowing down to those 20-mile-per-hour speed limits where appropriate. And then also, I just want to, you said something earlier about the city chat and listening to folks. And I just want to say that I think it's really remarkable that we have a space and community where we give opportunities for the public to speak and even for counselors to speak. I feel fairly confident now that if I was not in a position where I had, I'll call it a platform here, that I believe that even if I didn't necessarily agree with a decision that was being made by the city, I would feel that my opinion was listened to. So I want to thank the city for providing opportunities to do that. And I also want to compliment, just feel called out because I'm looking at the back of this sheet where it's talking about the committees and things like that. I think it's remarkable the work that some of our committees are doing and actually getting work accomplished in the community. So applause to those of you who are on the committee. I know we have a new committee member we appointed today. So I just want to say keep up the good work, and we're all rooting for you.
Okay. Nice. Council reports.
I have something I want to say.
Councilor Litton.
Oh, I'm gonna start off by saying this is really nice. I like this. So thank you, Mr. Wattenberger. Very good job. On the email, someone wrote on the email that was sent out to all of us that Jackie is fighting on Facebook, and that's microaggression. Secondly, I was not fighting on Facebook. I was hoping that young man was still here because I've had people see what I posted. I wanted to let him know about the 13th, 14th, 15th, and the First Amendments, in case he didn't know about those. Hopefully, we'll have election next year, and if we do, that's where you that's where you vote. Vote me in, vote me out. That's all there is, simple as that. I never told him he could not come to the meeting. He said about, I'm gonna see you September 2nd, said it twice. Okay, I think I'm kind of smart and read English. Then he did it the third time, then he did it the fourth time. Now I'm starting to get concerned. So that's why I let him know. Now I think I'm being harassed and you're coming across to me as now being threatening. And that's when I let him know. I am going to call the police, and I'm glad he did too. We all have that right. So I wanted to make sure those two things were said. Thank you.
Okay. Councilor Meyer.
The Safety Center tour this evening was very informative, and it looks like you guys will have a lot more room in order to navigate. And I'd like to thank the officers that were there and are still, most of them, here. Thank you for being there.
Councilor Brown.
Yes, in line with Counselor Myers, I do want to thank both Captains Clark and Guerrero, Detective Sotelo, Chief, and Lieutenant Martin for giving us a really good tour. And it's really nice to see how that facility is going to benefit the work that you guys do for us every single day. So I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you guys for your hospitality, and I'm really proud of the building as well. I think it's also a symbol of how this community looks like, what this community offers to its constituents. And I think it's going to help the police department and public safety just be able to be more efficient and do their jobs in a better way. So I'm really excited for that. I also, too, was at the city chats. That was really fun conversation to have with a couple of constituents. I myself had a couple of conversations with different people that I've never met. So I think that was really cool. And a lot of the people I talked to were very well informed. And that was also a really cool thing to see and hear. A lot of people do keep up with what's going on the council, and I think that's a great thing that we have an informed electorate. Um, and One more thing I did want to say about the ARC building. I should have mentioned that maybe had a couple of questions during our finance or the financial report. But I also see that it's getting a facelift because of the ongoing construction that's going on. But I know that it's benefiting the Inland Northwest Musicians Program. Uh, I have spoken to Lee and have seen that they're kind of making that area, or at least the entire building, better, and that's also benefiting uh, his position, or at least the spot in which he does his music lessons. So I did want to give a shout out to the city for doing that. I think that's a great thing too for the community. So thank you.
Councilor Durham.
I really like the card. I have a suggestion. Is it possible, hopefully you guys didn't print too many. Is it possible for us to include the part that people can participate in person at our city council meetings, or, through YouTube?
Next version.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
There's a QR code for the YouTube page, but it doesn't say.
Okay. Oh, it is right there. Thank you. The other thing that I wanted to say is that outside of this place, you can find the future city chats. I like the fact that we will also have the opportunity to have it at a housing facility so that folks can also, if they're not able to come to us, will be at, I want to say it's at Hacienda West, if my memory doesn't fail me.
Yeah, we've just finalized this last week, all of the locations, so we'll be sending those out to everybody. But yeah, one of them will be at Hacienda West.
Perfect.
That it? Hey, Councilor Hayward.
This weekend I attended the performing arts for the high school dinner for choir and the performance people. They both did amazing jobs. Then last September 11th, last Thursday, I gotta give it to our park director and our chaplain Terry for the police department. They came up with an idea of a city prayer, and there was about 100 people. I sent a picture out to Lily to send out to everybody. It was a last minute decision by them. I have to say thank you for what you guys did. I heard nothing but greatness from citizens and from people saying we need to do this more. And that is it.
Okay, Councilor Kelso, you're the one that's left.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I was also at the city chat on Friday night, and I think that's a great venue and a great opportunity for people to come out and talk about what's going on in the city. And I had a brief opportunity to speak with a couple of constituents, and I I learned a lot, and I hope they did too. So I'm thankful for the city for putting those events on, and I hope it continues well into the future. On Saturday, I attended a board meeting of Inland Northwest Musicians. Thank you, Councilor Barone. And I wanted to second their kudos to the city staff for the remodel job that's been done on the Arc. They're in a much better space now. And they just wanted to make sure that their appreciation to city staff was passed along. So that's what I'm here to do. And finally, I would like to encourage people to file and run for city council. If you are, it is free. If you have, if you
Except for your
think
time.
that you can do better, and I'm sure perhaps you can, and if you disagree with some of the things that some of us had set up here, 4 of us are up for reelection. Please file, please run, get involved in your city. It's been a great experience for me. This is my first year, and I would do it over again. I love it. So I encourage you to run. Thank you.
Counselor, and you had something you wanted to mention?
Yes, I also want to give kudos to the city administrators for also having yet another way for people to ask questions to the city administration. And I really like the fact that you guys have posted it, and it's also included in the card. So for those of us, I emailed last week about a question that I had, not to you, but Lily. But I appreciate the fact that we are thinking of different ways to get our constituents to be able to participate. So thank you for that.
Any other last bite at the apples? Nope. Okay. Youth Advisory Report. Mr. Delgado, do we have anything for us?
No.
Okay.
He's like, wait, I need to.
Well, now that's yeah, that's all right. Appreciate you. Mr. Smith.
Yes, so first I want to say thanks for flowers and condolences with the loss in our family last week. I appreciate that. I do want to say about this card, I was going to point it out. This is the sincerest form of flattery because I saw the city of Florence had something like this, and so brought it back from a conference and worked with Daniel to kind of put our own spin on it. It's a little different on what we've chosen to put on the back, and so really happy with how they turned out. So we'll be able, they're out at the front, and we'll have them at events going forward. And then, like I mentioned, we do have the city chats finalized. I'll send that out, and you can see what fits into your schedule and volunteer at those as they come up over the next year. And that's all I have.
All right. Well, I guess we are adjourned.
Thank